This is a God-given, beautiful world. Exploring and adventure, kind of what I'm looking for. My name is Mike. Join me on my channel, Into the Art 365. Morning fellow explorers, I'm standing in front of the De Kloof tunnel and this is on the Molenaars River, which is where we are exploring today. This is where our adventure is taking place, and as you can see there's some rather steep sides to this gorge, and even though the route is really short and I think it's literally just not even over a kilometer long, the entire route that I'm wanting to do, it should still take quite a while because it's very technical, very steep sides, got a waterfall and a couple of plunge pools, so it's going to take time to get through here. And being an overcast day, it's nice and cool. However, the water will probably be really chilly, so I brought a wetsuit along to keep warm, but also just for the scrapes and bruises and knockabout on the boulder hopping that we're going to be doing today. Eerie in here. It's really weird. I could imagine walking through here at night would be quite an experience. During the day it's very dark in here. Your eyes actually need to adjust, even though you can see both entrances, or if you enter on one side you can see the exit on the other side, but yeah, it just messes with your eyes. Starting to descend down into the gorge. This is where the real adventure begins. It's quite gnarly going in, overgrown, very steep down into the riverbed, Molenaars riverbed, and unfortunately it's also a location for a lot of kind of people dumping stuff just because it's next to a national sort of road, and obviously overgrown with alien vegetation as well right down to the bottom. But yeah, nevertheless, here we are. Join me for the ride. So you can just make out the riverbed, and can also hopefully, the camera just never picks it up how steep it is. So yeah, this is pretty hectic down here. Got to watch your feet because they kind of want to slip out from underneath you. And I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, look at that, hey? That is just so spectacular. Obviously the top of the waterfall is often frequented by people. Let the adventure begin! Top of the waterfall. Let's get to it. You can understand the volume of water that must have come through here to be able to jam this tree into this rock space. That is pretty hectic. Just to give you a little perspective on the scale and size of the boulder, and then also the log that I'm standing on that got pushed through from underneath. So the water shoved it through from the other side. Quite steep, that is. Just waded through and it's pretty chilly, so I'm glad I brought a wetsuit along. I got it on. And what do you mean I'm fat? I'm still growing. Either that or I've got to lose some weight, eh? I really struggled to get into this wetsuit. I've had it for about 20 years though, and it's been served me well, and it was tailored for me. But yeah, it's getting a little bit tight. While the bag is dry, when you do a jump, it gives you a bit of buoyancy, so it brings you back to the surface. But once it's wet, it's heavy, and that's when you've got to be careful. Now that we're in the gorge and we've done the waterfall section, it gets really tight and quite technical, so there's quite a lot of rocks and it's a bit of boulder hopping. But this should be quite good. It's going to be exciting, and obviously the rucksack is totally wet now. But yeah, let's make our way down slowly and see if we can get out the other side. Rocks are slippery. Water's strong here. It's absolutely stunning in here. Beautiful. The feet don't like it, that's for sure. Kind of scraping along as much as I can. It's not swimming depth, but there's huge boulders and they're very slippery. So we'll keep moving. This should be interesting. So we've got a massive pool here. I think it's a swim through to the other side. There's no other way out of this gorge. We're basically in now. And so we're gonna have to go through there. The sun keeps peeking out every now and then. It's really welcome for extra bit of light and also for the little bit of warmth that comes with it. But yeah, I reckon we're about the halfway through. The tough bits are over, you know, really technical bits. Thing is, yeah, the rocks are slippery and obviously there are a lot of holes, so just got to watch out for ankles and things like that. One wouldn't want to fracture an ankle in here or even sprain it, because it's going to be a mission getting out of here as it is without any additional problems, you know. But yeah, slowly, and try and make sure of our footing. Give you an idea of some of the terrain. You've got to get a leg up. Lots of sliding around and on your bum kind of thing. Big hole. Oof. Making good progress. Some absolutely stunning views in here. We're moving closer towards the landslide, so it's going to be interesting to see what the riverbed looks like. Some places the water is very dark and you can't see what's in it and where your feet are going, so has to be quite careful. Next big bull, we'll swim through this one, and I think that's the last really big one. Not really swimming through this one, walking through the black murky water. My feet are just touching the bottom in some places. Actually lovely, this really good adventure. Yeah, just move slowly and cautiously. There are quite a few strainers in the river, obviously branches and trees that have come down. It's one of the reasons why I take cliffing very cautiously. You never know what you're jumping into. There's a lot of behind the scenes that have happened here today as well, which renders this a lot safer than it looks. But yeah, I don't advocate just doing it and just doing blind jumps. You got to know what you're getting yourself into and know what's in the waterfall below you, you know. The water funnels here into like a chute, and that black pool at the bottom looks very jumpable, but I've been down here before. There's been an entire tree submerged underneath that black water, so you can get yourself into trouble really quickly if you don't know what's under the surface. So I have two options here. I can either go down the chute, or I can actually go along a little escape route that's on this ledge. Entire tree down at the bottom here. Must have been torrential water that came down here at some point in time. Yeah, there seems to be a route around this way. A little bit of a cave that we can go through. Ugh. Just don't bang your head, that's what I'm going to say. You think how the water funnels through this valley in a flash flood, and yet you still have these amazing old trees like right next to the riverbank. Been here for a very long time. I don't know if you can see all the silt. If I do that, you can see how black it goes and how quickly, and that's what's making it very, very slippery. massive runoff during the last set of floods. This river must have been raging. We're still very much closed in. Cliffs around us. There's no real escape from here. You've got to get out through the river. Onwards and forwards. Walk around. Ooh, slippery. So glad I brought the wetsuit. It, you know, it's besides the cold in the water. I mean, that you can kind of deal with. Like swimming wise, you know, if you're working, you'll be all right. But what this wetsuit does is it actually protects you against the knocks and scratches of the boulders and the sort of unseen underwater objects. So that's really nice. Just kind of gives you a sense of confidence moving in this kind of water. When it gets above hip height, it's actually almost better to swim because then you can actually move quicker and lose a little less skin on the toes. You know, I've got little booties on. Well, water shoes, not actually booties. I left my booties at home today. But they only protect you that much. Look at that rock edifice. I mean, this is just beautiful. We're going to go right around there. We're in the last bend actually, just before the wall in front of the tunnel. I fell over again. I don't know how many time already. It's so slippery here. It's unbelievable. That's it. Keep going. Whoops. Fortunately, the river widens a bit here, so should be able to actually get into the dry ground now. Got a little bit of a time pressure now. I've got some stuff, errands I've got to run back home. So I've headed up onto the drier slope here. Let's see how far we can get. It's still gnarly. The wind has kind of like a Venturi effect through here as well. So it speeds up and can get quite strong in places. But yeah, we're almost done the full route, eh? Coming out onto the other side where the retaining wall is. But we still got a ways to go if it's this technical. Yeah, bear in mind I started at about 7 o'clock this morning. It's now almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it just gives you an idea of how difficult it is to move through this terrain, especially in the water. Once you get onto the drier slopes, it moves quite a lot quicker. There you can see the retaining wall, almost at the point where we need to climb out of this gorge. That retaining wall that you can see in the background is the one that we looked at from the top, and it's obviously just before the tunnel, the entrance to the tunnel. So yeah, we're almost there. I actually ripped a hole into my wet shoes. Equipment takes punishment out here. Booties would have probably been a better idea. Find a way through all of this lot. Undergrowth is really thick here. So kind of bushwhacking our way through everything. Makes for gnarly. Doing it one-handed was also probably not the brightest of ideas. Yeah, that's it. Much better. The exit's kind of where the Gorge River junction is with the Molenaars, so where the Gorge River actually feeds into this. And there's an exit path there. I think it'll be quite a climb out, but it's not far. Made for a good adventure today, that's for sure. Oh my hat, that was a lot deeper than I thought it was. As you can see. I'm going to see if I can get onto this dry slope here and see if there's an exit route from here.
There are the
that spot. Kind of continuing a little way further down the path. But yeah, we should be seeing something up to the right shortly. And hopefully that will get us out of here. Found a possible way out, so I'm going to take this and actually see where it goes to. It's not frequented, but looks like we could maybe get out of here. If not, we'll have to turn back and come down into the riverbed. That's definitely been used before. The wattle certainly gives you some traction and something to hold on to. Makes it a bit simpler. So yeah, that was good. It's very steep, that much I can tell you. And the gravel doesn't help much. Yep, keep going, eh? The backpack's certainly not making life easy, that's for sure. And then holding the camera with one hand. Anyway, those complaints are for nothing, really. I wanted to be out here, wasn't it? We're on the junction of the Gorge River, so I could go further down and there will be a path. But I think this one's going to work for me. So I'll see you at the top. So finally managed to get to the top. I'm at the retainer wall. But our shoes are absolutely buggered. So I think that's going to be it for today. So that's today's adventure. Hopefully it will come out nicely in the edit. And we'll see you in the next one.